What began as just another ordinary day. Today I'm going to take you along on an English-inspired adventure of visiting a tea room, buying some delicious teas, and then making some homemade clotted cream and scones. I'm super excited for this because once a while ago I did make clotted cream and scones at home, but I haven't done that in such a long time, and this cute little shop inspired me to do it again. So I ended up getting two teas from Queen Mary's Tea Room. I got this Genmaicha tea, which is a type of green tea, and I had tried it just the day prior at a friend's house, and I was blown away. It was so light yet so delicious and calming, and it's a great evening tea because it's so light and doesn't have that much caffeine in it. When I had this tea, I had it without any additive sweeteners, so no sugar, no honey, anything like that, and it was perfect on its own. On the back of the packages, it says the Queen's Rules, and this is how you make the tea in detail. This one says use 1 to 2 teaspoons of tea for every 8 ounces of water, and it's good for 2 to 3 brews, which is great. And then it says to use 180 degrees water. So you don't want to put genmaicha in boiling water because then it will taste more bitter and you won't get that nice light flavor. So the lady at the shop actually told me that what she'll do is she will boil water, but then she'll put some cold water on top to bring down the temperature. And she also recommended taking the strainer with the tea in it and running some cold water over it to protect those tea leaves in the warmer water. And looking at the tea, you can see it has some green leaves, that's like the tea, and then we have some brown and white pieces, which looks like the roasted rice. So I'm super excited to try this out on my own and see how it turns out. Hopefully just as good as the first time. The second tea I got is Earl Grey Rooibos tea. And when I was at the shop, I was having a real hard time trying to pronounce the word rooibos. I kept on calling it rubios. And then the shopkeeper told me that an easy way to remember it is thinking that there is somebody named Roy and he's the boss. So rooibos. And it's a tea from South Africa, totally decaf because it doesn't have any tea leaves in it, but it's one of the decaf teas that tastes most similar to black tea. So it's a great way to trick yourself into thinking that you're drinking black tea. And an added bonus for this one is its Earl Grey flavor, so it will be even closer to the taste of black tea. So for this one, you can put it in boiling water because it doesn't have tea leaves, so it won't have that bitter flavor. And it says to allow it to steep for 7 to 10 minutes, which is quite a lot. Yeah, I'm really excited to try this one because I've never seen Earl Grey rooibos tea. And actually, rooibos in general, I find it very difficult to find in supermarkets in general. They'll have it, but it will be maybe more of like a herbal, flowery taste, like rooibos orange. But I kind of want something that tastes more like traditional black tea, but just without the caffeine. Okay, I got my water in my kettle. And turn it on and wait for it to boil. The water has finished boiling, but first I'm gonna take out some of this tea and I'm gonna put it in this cute little squirrel strainer that I have. I got it for free actually from someone. It's very cute. See, and it has this opening here, which you can put on the edge of the cup. Oh, this way, sorry. So you put this here and then perfect way to steep your tea. Okay, so I'm gonna put some tea in here. Let's give it a smell. Smells good. Definitely smells like rice. Get all the good stuff. Okay. Maybe a little more. It's like 2 teaspoons. I don't know how much I have. Okay, I think that's enough. And then I'm gonna cover it. Okay. Okay, and then I need to wait 2 to 3 minutes, so I'm gonna put a timer for this. Timer? I'll do 3 minutes. I don't know why it does that, why it's like bubbling. You know what? I think it's the squirrel is farting. That is why there's bubbles. That is one gassy squirrel. Okay. So getting this tea has inspired me to do something that I've done once before, which is make homemade clotted cream the English style way, and this requires a lot of time but not a lot of effort. Basically, you just have to put heavy whipping cream in the oven for at least 12 hours. And to go with that, I'll also make some scones. It's the morning time, and now's the best time to prep the clotted cream because it needs a lot of time in the oven. So I'm gonna preheat the oven to 180 degrees, bake that. The recipe for clotted cream is super simple. All you need is 1 carton of heavy whipping cream. I got a 32 fluid ounce size. And then you need a pan so that the cream can spread out, but it's still about 1 inch in thickness or 1.5 inches. All right, so I'm just gonna open this can. So this is the thickness it turned out to be. I always use the middle part of my pinky finger to see if it's 1 inch, because this is about benchmark 1 inch. You can kind of see it's about 1 inch. Now I'm just gonna wait for the oven to preheat before I pop it in. So I'm putting it in at like 9:15 in the morning. So I'll take it out at 9:15 in the evening. So after the cream has cooled to room temperature, it's time to put it in the fridge for at least 12 hours. So you can see how the time for making this cream really adds up. In a large bowl, place 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Now we're starting on making freshly baked scones. Then we're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna need 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder. These. That's a lot of baking powder. Halfway through, I was reading the instructions again because I really want to make sure that I was not messing it up. And then we need 3 tablespoons of granulated sugar. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just gonna mix all these together. And it says add the butter and use a pastry cutter, a fork, or your fingers to work it in until the mixture looks like fine crumbs. I'm gonna use my fingers because I just love feeling the texture of dough. Just gonna mix it all together. Next, we're moving to the stove because it says to heat up the milk until it's warm but not hot. And I need 3/4 cups of milk. So we're gonna need 1 teaspoon of both the vanilla and the lemon juice. Then we're gonna put the lemon juice. I thought lemon juice curdled the milk. There's only a little bit left, but I think I'll be able to have enough. Yay, that's enough. Just mix that together. I think it is curdling the milk a little bit. Ew. All right, next it says add the milk mixture to the dry mixture and combine them quickly with a fork. Then it says pour the dough onto a lightly floured surface, sprinkle the dough with flour, and fold the dough over a few times until smooth. Don't overwork the dough. Pattern round disc about 1.5 inches. Since I know there will be 8, I'm just going to divide it into 4 first, 2, and then those into 2. In times like these, I'm so thankful for my elementary math and sometimes geometry as well. You know, scones don't have to be perfect. I love it. Then I'm going to prepare the beaten egg to put on top of the scones. Here I decided to be a little bit of a musician and create a little beat of my own. Now I'm just going to paint them all with egg wash. Alright, and then I'm going to pop them into the oven and bake for about 10 to 15 minutes. Don't be fooled, baking also requires a lot of cleaning. This is the clotted cream that has cooled in the fridge for at least 12 hours. Now it is completely solid. Oh, never mind, not fully solid. Well, it says to scrape off the top layer and then put it in a mixing bowl, mix it and discard any of the liquid. Also doesn't look like there's a lot of solid. In my fridge, here's some of the jams I found. Fig butter, pumpkin butter, not jams butter, but you know, it works, and some hazelnut spread. I think this is gonna be my favorite, the fig butter.